Hi guys, so I'm back again with my second video here about a couple weeks ago did a video on am I an alcoholic, the question, and so I thought I'd follow up here with what you can do right away to start on a journey if you are ready to give up alcohol. So there's no small way to do this. If you've figured out that you're an alcoholic, you know that you are and you're ready to take the next step, obvious step, is to stop drinking. So, sure, that sounds easy, right? It's not easy. Especially the first few days where your body and your mind are going to be telling you that you need to drink. So set a date. I hope that date for you is today, because the problem with if you are an alcoholic is that your brain is now going to jump in and start giving you every excuse to drink. And I just want you to know what you might want to be aware of this first week if you quit, say, today. First of all, I like the app I Am Sober, because you can put in your sober date and they'll keep track of how many, and it's a free app, but they keep track of how many hours, seconds, days, years that you're sober. And they also give you a place to put in how much you spend a week on alcohol, so then they keep track of what you're not spending, what you're saving. And also they give you the amount of hours, hypothetically, that they figured out that people spend on drinking. So as of today, I have 600 days sober. I have fallen on and off the wagon many times. This last time, hopefully in these videos and in my book I can guide you to all the things I tried, and so that you could try some of them. But for today, I'm just going to focus on get that app, I Am Sober, if you can. And it has an area where you can write down why you want to be sober, and that is a good thing. Take your picture too. You can upload your picture on it. It's just it'll come up with notifications when you've reached anniversaries, and it's just really encouraging to see that. So the other thing is obviously clear out any liquor in your house and give yourself the grace to have some downtime here, but not too much. You might want to avoid any parties or bars. This is obviously for anybody who's an alcoholic. These are hard places to be where drinking is available. But the ultimate goal here is that alcohol will be everywhere in our life, and we don't have to drink it just because it's there and just because other people are. So definitely go ahead and clear the alcohol out of your house. If you have someone in your life, it's sometimes good to make a commitment so that they can help keep you accountable, or at least it's nice when you're in misery, kind of feeling miserable about not drinking. The encouragement from that loved one is always a good thing. My husband Joe doesn't drink, and I mean, it would be so occasionally, and he gave up drinking every time I gave it up. But this last time, he's actually been sober longer than me, because he actually wasn't drinking anyway. So it was like, okay. But he is my support, and honestly, one of my reasons. Sometimes, people will say when you quit drinking, you should just do it for yourself. But honestly, at the points in my life where I quit, I didn't even love myself enough to quit for my own health. I really just loved my husband and my kids and my grandkids, and they were my reason for quitting. And it's okay for you to have a reason other than yourself. Right now, you might be in that little bit of self-loathing stage. So realize that along the way that you are going to pick up a new love for yourself, a new respect for yourself. You're going to lose the guilt, and you're going to become healthier in your body and your mind. Your thoughts are going to be so much healthier. So, we'll save that for another video. For this week, say, hypothetically, you're quitting today. You're going to need some sugar. So, sorry if you're watching your weight, but we're in We were taking in a lot of sugar when we were drinking. So you're going to feel some cravings that might be sugar. So just keep some little sugar around, okay? It's way better than drinking at this point, so eat some sugar if you need it, okay? The other thing is sometimes you just need to go to bed. Okay, so my drinking was focused usually in the evenings, and sometimes I just got in such a bad place mentally early on in sobriety that I just had to go to bed. I didn't want to think about it I didn't need to think about it anymore. It's always a dangerous place to be in when you are hungry, when you're angry, when you're lonely, and when you're tired. And you can remember that by the word halt. And so when you feel a craving and it seems to be getting overwhelming at the moment, just remember, just think about it. Am I hungry? Am I angry, lonely, or tired? And then realize that now you've made this a habit. Okay, so your body is habituated to it. It feels like it needs it, and even more so your mind. So what you want to do is be aware of your thoughts. Please be aware of your thoughts. Your thoughts can talk you into being sober, and your thoughts can talk you into drinking. So don't listen to that. You're going to get that little self-pity-ish thing coming in, like, poor me, look, other people get to drink, and how will I have fun, and, what about this wedding I have this summer? What am I going to do then? You know what I mean? This is all too big to think about. Let's not think about when we're 60 and we want to play canasta and drink gin and tonics. Okay, let's just not think about that, because first of all, you don't even know if you have that long. Second of all, we are not in control of the future or the past, so we only have this moment in this day, and sometimes quitting drinking comes down to the moments. Okay, so this is really helpful. I learned this when I got my substance abuse counseling certification. Urge surfing. Imagine you're surfing and a wave is coming. And so you are now at the top of this wave is building, and then you're at the top of the wave. And then what does it do? It has to come down, right? It has to come down and crash. So as you are feeling these cravings or urges to drink, go ahead and picture this wave and realize that it's building, but it will stop. Okay? At the top of the wave, it's your choice when you're feeling like that to pick up a drink or not. But when you're at the very top of that wave, that's when it starts coming down. So give yourself enough time, okay, to get to the top of that wave and know that it's going to come down. Those waves are going to come. Sometimes they'll be bigger waves. Sometimes they'll be tiny waves, and it's just a little bit of a urge or craving, and then sometimes it's going to be big. So like anything in life, we have to give ourselves a minute. Okay, let's give ourselves a minute here. In the past, it's just solved all our problems, alcohol, and we never said no to ourselves, quite frankly. We just said yes all the time, and so we had to. We were alcoholics, so we had to drink. So now you have the minute here to stop and say, I can choose here, because this wave is going to come back down. Okay? So sleeping, having some sugar around, having your support person around, and man, I'm going to tell you this, go to a meeting, all right? Get your ass out of the house, because sometimes you're going to think too much when you're at home. When you are thinking too much, there is a meeting, an AA meeting, almost everywhere, at almost every time. I mean, to tell you, I've heard in the middle of Africa, I've heard of AA meetings. I have been on cruise ships and gone to AA meetings. And even though it sounds like stupid to you, or you're afraid of being in a group setting or whatever, I guarantee you when you walk in that room and smell that stale coffee, you will feel a sense of unity with everyone else in the room. They are all there for the same reason, okay? It is a very strong person that can go to an AA meeting. And if it is or might not be your way of getting sober, I would suggest going to a meeting. If you are a woman who doesn't really want to be around, old guys in sobriety or whatever, old timers we call them, find a women's meeting. If you're a younger person, go to a younger person meeting. Okay, don't go to one AA meeting and walk in and it's a bunch of old guys, drinking coffee and you're like, this is not for me, okay? Don't go to a meeting and expect, when you go to a meeting, expect people to be smoking outside, okay? They've given up one vice and maybe they're smoking again. Whatever it takes to quit drinking. I mean, I don't believe in smoking anymore, but I'm just saying it. If you smoke and drink, give up the alcohol and the smoking will come later. But don't judge people for smoking. Just go right through those smokers, walk in, and someone is going to walk up to you and greet you at that meeting. And you might even be able to get a big book or a 12 and 12, which are the books that AA recommends. And, when they go around the meeting and they say, okay, I'm Kim and I'm an alcoholic, and they come to you, you don't have to say, I'm so-and-so and I'm an alcoholic, okay? Just say, I'm so-and-so. And that will let the people there know that you are thinking about it or in the early stages of it. And they are so supportive. I've never met nicer, kinder people than at an AA meeting, because there's no bullshit there. We're all struggling with the same issue. And so you can't say, well, you are better dressed than me, and so you must be. No, alcoholism is the equal opportunity destroyer. So it's going to destroy you whether you make a ton of money and are very successful, or you're just an average person that's trying to get through life. Go to an AA meeting. If you are a reader, go ahead and go to Amazon, and even in the used book section, they have big books. The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. And sometimes you can get them for under like $3. So you don't have to buy new on that, but look for one that's good or excellent condition, and then have them shipped to you. So whatever. That's a good thing to start reading. But also any stories that are like real people. So in the Big Book of AA, you have 165 pages of the rules of AA and a new way of living, and they're teaching you all those things. In the second half of the book, you're going to see people's stories. These stories are from like 1930, 1940, so beware, but it transcends time, being an alcoholic. So this book is very viable today, just as it was when it was written. The idea with AA is that people meet together and they help each other and they share their experience, strength, and hope with you. And if anything else, it's free counseling. But it's free counseling by other people who know what you're going through. Okay, so, and also then go ahead and get some books. Like there's a book by Caroline Knapp called Drinking, a Love Story. There's a book by Elizabeth Vargas and she's a newscaster, a journalist on TV, and she went through alcoholism. If you go to that section, you'll just find a bunch of good books. Or at your library, you're going to find a bunch of good books like that. So what that does is it just makes you realize that you are not alone, and that even people that have it all, still can be alcoholics. So I'm going to stop there because it was a lot to digest. I'm going to continue my vlogs with things that come up for me as I'm writing my book. For this time, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to go out, how to go to a party and a bar without drinking. And so for you this week, as soon as you decide that you're going to get sober, get the I Am Sober app, go to a meeting, make sure there's no alcohol in your house and that you're not going to drive to get it. Make sure someone is supporting you in your journey. And I just wish you the best. It's going to be a tough week. There'll be times where you feel like awesome because you're waking up without a hangover. Once you make the decision to get sober, you already feel better. It's like this monkey you've been carrying around your back that is so heavy, and he punches you in the face all day while you're carrying it. This is gone, and you can just make it black and white. I'm starting now, and I'm not going to think too deeply about the future or my age or my circumstances. I'm just going to focus on the fact that I can't drink right now. And see those days adding up. You're going to have moments that are tough. Remember the urge surfing I taught you. And get past that moment, okay? And then those moments get fewer and farther between until you get to the point where you realize that you can go 2, 3, 4 days a week without thinking about alcohol. And you will get to that point. I believe in you. And thanks.